Welcome to Cujo Sound. Today, I'm going to be playing Shelter 2. Check it out. I haven't played the first game. I own it because it was free on the Epic Store a couple of weeks ago. But other than that, I actually don't know much about it. I haven't played it. I've heard good things about the first game. I've heard mixed things about this second game, but I would really like to try it out and see how it is. This game is made by Team 17, oddly enough. We recently reviewed a different game by Team 17, but nonetheless, Team 17 is a good set of game designers who do really good for themselves. Lemmings, for example. Brilliant game from back in the day. Now, Shelter 2 here is, I don't know which engine it's made in, but I know that they're using Fmod as the audio engine to run this, because that was clearly marked during the introduction screen, which will make it interesting because then we can try to see if we can spot how the parameters and other things are set up. Now, shall we give this a spin? I think so. Since I haven't played this game before, this is basically like any other stream that we've had. Just a quick disclaimer here. I'm not trying to bash this game. I'm not trying to be negative against it or anything like that. I'm here to review and talk about the audio design. I'm not here to review the game as a game. I'm not here to give it any score or rate it in any formal way. I'm trying to figure out how they're doing, what they're doing with the sound design, and that's only that. So if you're offended by me saying anything about this game, or if you work at Team 17 and think that I'm a little too harsh on things, I do not mean any harm, just to make that clear. I don't know if you can tell, but there has been a problem before with someone being really pissed off about me saying something about something in their game, and I don't want to bump into that issue. Mainly because I am genuinely a nice guy, I think. Kind of. So just like with all the other games, pretty standard hover over sound here. It's nice. Hardcore, scars, hard, plenty fluid. No, let's play it on normal. Let's the difficulty that I think will be fitting for us. Tribe of the Rotten. Aren't we like the Kujurian tribe? I've had that before. Oh. Nice flags. Click sound is okay. Oh. Okay, these are the hovers. Maybe a little too aggressive on the hover sound here, but it's at the beginning of the game. No reason to say anything about that. My name is Bjørn Jacobsen. I could look like that in a post-apocalyptic world. Yeah, let's go. Oh, wait. Traits. Oh. Accessories, clothes. Oh, so this has a different hover over sound. That's also quite interesting. The choice in why that is. What if I... Oh, traits. These are the ones that we pick. Okay. Right, and we have... How many points do we have? Oh, but this is quite like the trait system that there is in, what's it called? The predecessor to Astronauts? I forgot the name. Neo Scavenger. Neo Scavenger is, by the way, an excellent game. You should all try it out. It's real good. Really hardcore, kind of difficult, actually. And I really, really like it. But with the same style, I mean, so if you're adaptable, like if you're acrobatic, then you can't be rigid at the same time. If you're good at eating, you can't be, have the hungry all the time trait and so on. I'm wondering what these numbers do. Anyway, we should get started. Xenophobic. Okay. So if I choose this, I automatically become some European politician lately. All right. Fair enough. I'm trying to find somehow that I can make this guy be like myself. So I know I said I was a nice guy before, but I really want to be an asshole here. And apparently I can't pick that. It should be here. But no. Bitter. That's the other European politician that doesn't get elected. All right, so I'm kind of smart. I guess I'm also a bodybuilder. I do actually work out a lot, but let's see. Now we have -1, which means that we can't continue. So we need one that makes me drainer. Right. Awkward, bitter, brittle bones, bitter. Yeah, I can be a little bitter. Hell yeah. Bitter old man. I'm 40, so who knows? All right, so now we're picking the ones who's with us. Strong bladder, okay. Positive conversations. Yeah. And her trait is beautiful. Okay. Guess so. Yeah, quick learner. That's a good guy. But his name shouldn't be Frank. This guy is, just to be nice, this could be one of my employees, Frederick Max, and I'm probably going to get this wrong because I don't remember his last name. I think it is Christiansen. No, wait, Christensen. Hayden Christensen, something like that. Good. Now, this over here is Harold, but this could be my other employee, Nikolai Dahan. And his name is Mikkelsen. Just like the actor. If you're into that kind of thing. Let's see, resourceful. Strong bladder. Hell yeah. So during this crafting page here, get the shovel sound when we're moving this mouse. This is definitely some sort of, let's say, parameter that's tracking mouse speed. And simply just cranks up a parameter inside of Fmod, which simply turns up the timeline or the speed of some sound, which is then causing the sound to play. That's quite interesting. This is nice. This is well done. Because it's not when we're here. So it's definitely something that's inside crafting. Now, I'm wondering, does this happen when we click on whatever, you know? We'll find out once the tutorial is over so that we can do whatever we want. Right now, we're having the same problem as with so many other games, that the tutorial kind of prevents you from actually doing stuff other than in the tutorial. Which, I mean, is relevant to the tutorial, but not really if you, during the tutorial, suddenly want to do something crazy. So now we should clean the shelter. So when we get into some of the other menus, let's see if they still have a sort of swooshy sound whenever we're moving the mouse around. That would be quite interesting, especially if it's different from crafting station to crafting station. Like the map crafting station here, and the pantry here, and the water bucket here. What happens when we're doing something? Craft some cement. Let's try. Currently there's nothing. Okay. Also different click sound here than previously when hovering. That's also nice. Also, it like prevents the game from getting super boring to listen to. And I like the subtle music. It's there, plucky, transient, but not breaking anything. It's interesting. And it's good. I like the vibe there is right now. It'll probably get worse once we get to playing the game further. Okay, so that didn't seem to have any swooshy sound. What if we, here, can we recycle a pipe. Okay, let's try this. Recycle item. Which gives us what? Metal shavings. All right. So we're trying to build this here, and we can like craft lower. We can build it here, and I like this. I'm wondering if. What if we zoom in? No, it's not. It's not spatialized. This one, when placing this, which would also be weird. But there is some sort of. So the reason why they're getting louder as we're doing this more, if it's just one at a time, is because they don't kill each other. So you can probably play unlimited voices on this one, which means that it gets louder whenever we do anything. That doesn't harm us at all. So we can hear him now. So we don't have to zoom out further than this to not be able to hear him. Very briefly. So the attenuation of this, what if we zoom in here? It's very heavily spatulized, but so notice this, it's filtered when we go above him, but if we go to the right and left, the attenuation seems to continue. So there must be some sort of parameter to telling the game in terms of attenuation. Are we above, below, or to the right or left of the object? Is it like normal attenuation could be dealing with the fact that it's just to the right and left, but there must be some sort of above and below parameter which is calculated, which is really nice. That's a nice way of I'm pretty sure that once we get this shelter really nice and big and gigantic, it'll be a nice way of knowing that stuff above us is kind of muffled. So it's only the floor that we're currently looking at that will have noises and will have sounds that are in our focus. And pan to the left and right so that we can hear what's going on. But when we are above or below, it'll be muffled, kind of like occlusion. It's going to be really nice, I think. Oh, interesting. Also a nice sound when we're opening this. Nice opening sound of this menu, getting into this. Now there's wind in the background, which seems kind of odd, but since we're planning it in exploration, then it kind of makes sense that we're going outside. So that's a very nice touch. Set up an expedition party. We should just let them all go. Skills. Poison punch, okay. Fair enough. Spray gunshot. Okay, like your average terrorist, I suppose. They're all in decent mood. Which is kind of true. I'm having some wine at the moment, so my mood should be higher. But I'm not really the same as the game. Likes Nikolai de Haan. Acquaintance with Frederick Max. Okay. He actually likes Nikolai de Haan. Everybody likes Nikolai de Haan. He's friends with Frederick Max. I knew it. They were plotting behind my back. Okay, we can't leave the shelter unmanned. So maybe I should stay behind, because then them two friends can go and do whatever they want. All right. This is very, very Neo Scavenger-like. Not, of course, not the same, and the graphics are totally different. So, not really the same. But I like this scavenging thing. Route is dangerous. Yeah, no shit. We're going outside. Okay, anyway. Shelter. Let's go. Let's see what all the fuss is about. Open the glossary. Is that actually set? Hvad siger du?
Jeg har tænkt på, at vi skulle
Hvad siger du?
Jeg har spist helt min leverpostej.
Du er så god.
Jeg vil have nogle chips.
See? There's a nice filter here coming from below to up. And it pans nicely to the left whenever he's doing something. So above and below definitely has a parameter that detects and occludes and muffles. We don't have to zoom out very much before everything disappears. And that may be something about that the listener is on the camera or the listener is spotted on the ground. And once we zoom out, it is moved slightly away from us. So the distance that the camera is actually away may be greater than we think, which means that attenuation when we go to the right seems to be very, very long. But once we zoom out, it's not that long. Let's try and see what happens if we go to the left or right while he's doing something and then zoom out. See, now it's muffled. Now it's not. Party has finished. I like the in and out. Seems like a camera shutter opening and closing. That's very nice. Area 1. View items. Caravan. Alright. Since I haven't played the game before, I have no idea what is valuable. I'll probably find out when I've played this game for 90 years or something. A floppy disk. Alright. It's from when Daddy was young. Floppy disks. Actually, I had the predecessor of these floppy disks on my old computer. That was nice. A big, what's it called? 5.5 inch? This is 3.25 inch, right? Actually, I don't remember, but the names of these. But old school floppy disks, bendy, couldn't carry anything really. So okay. So now he's down here. So can we actually play the game now? Like really do something? Okay, what about here? Here, craft object. So whenever we want to place something, craft an object, and let's say it's this item here. That is when we get this scratching, digging type sound. It's kind of interesting. But if it's this one, outside, then there's nothing. And this invalid placement sound really gets on your nerves quite fast. And we don't need to build a cross yet. I assume some of the people in this game can die anyway. It's cold. Oh yeah, so what? Craft object. Cement out of sand and limestone. Interesting. This is great. This is great. I mean, I like this game a lot. This is I played these types of games for a long time, like Neo Scavenger and other games like that. I love these. Daniel Fedor, thank you for making Neo Scavenger, and it was an honor to work on Ostronauts with you. Really, call me any day. So this game, since we're doing things by clicking them all the time, it's very, very hover over heavy. Which makes it a little if you're moving the mouse around, then it gets quite tedious. But notice here how the background noise gets killed when there's just enough of these UI sounds. The wind in the background right now. It's quite interesting that the top level of voices allowed isn't just allowed on UI sounds, but actually overall doesn't allow for ambience to also play. That's a very interesting design choice. We don't know why, but could be anything really. We need a bed because this guy's tired. How do we get a bed? Makeshift toilet, makeshift tower, cot. Right, view items. And we definitely need the wool because we just used it all. And we need the hinges. We found that out. Interesting. Good. Now there's space. So this here filtering, I mean, yeah, it works nice. That's what it's all about. that you can hear it when you're here, and it goes away when you're here. But it comes in rather steep. I mean, surely we're pushing it a little to try this out, but it works very nicely. It works very nicely to be down here, and we can then hear the filter, hear the sound just being like that. What about these guys? Are they tired? Doing nothing? All right, plan an expedition then. Where was it that we did that? There we go. Nikolai Dehan and Bjørn. Yeah. Hell yeah. Then we can leave Frederick behind. He can get some sleep. Anyway, I did hear about this game being buggy. Kind of buggy, but let's see. Can we just... Let's go. So there's an encounter. Music is nice. I like this music. It's if this was on a soundtrack, and my WhatsApp is going crazy. If this was on a soundtrack I could buy on vinyl, I'd listen to this for sure. So that's one guy against our two. What can we do? Trade. So no VO. That's interesting. I like that there's no VO if they keep it that way all the way, which is nice. I'm sure. I like these minimalist audio type games. And Frederick Max is doing nothing. Hey, that sounds familiar, Frederick. Speeding up and going back to normal time is kind of interesting because it plays a sound which is seemingly on top of normal everyday sounds. So instead of just speeding up every sound in the game, it probably mutes every sound in the game, but then plays this speed up sound that is there. Which is pretty interesting. Let's try and see if we can somehow, at some point in the game, try and see if we can make one of the players do something while we're speeding up the game. Currently we're speeding it up because we're waiting for something. So. And we have this ordinary when speeding up things, so you can't hear him say anything. If we go back to normal speed, we can of course hear him hammering. Speed everything up, we can't. And once the building is done, we get this normal end of work cycle sound. All the sounds in the game seem to be quite quiet. So when the generator dies, it's like you don't really hear it. You have to look at all the icons to see it. Okay, Nikolai. My bad. all in all, that transition, I mean, going from combat and music and so on, some of the sound seems a little too digitally created, like digitally overproduced, which is a little strange in comparison to all these natural sounds. But I like this transition going back into this shelter. Now we can hear the rain. It's all quiet. Nikolai's dead. All that stuff. Anyway, Shelter 2 here offers some really nice sounds of people working together. One of the things that I do really miss out on is that if I pan the game, if I zoom out just very little, almost every sound of what's going on inside the shelter will then naturally become muted. And that's a shame, because when the lights go out, when there's interactions with lots of things, I would like to have that kind of audible feedback. So I would personally think that the attenuation outwards as a zoom out of camera should have been much longer. But that's my opinion and not the one that counts in that regard. Anyway, Shelter 2 offers a lot. I think it's a very deep game. So far, I've been reading about a lot of bugs. I haven't really encountered them yet, but let's see once I get to play this game some more. Anyway, and I had actually stopped recording the entire video, and I had to now make this pickup, because right after ending the video thinking that there isn't that many bugs, or at least audio bugs that I could find and so on, this happened. Okay, so one of the things about what's happening right now is that we may be hearing the audio stutter and so on, and that might not be an audio bug. Audio might be a problem or be a part of the problem, but it could also be other things that are spawning or having a memory leak somehow, so that the audio is the first thing that we notice, because the game is also getting slower. So it could be a lot of things that are going on. One of the things that this could be is that some object with audio on it keeps on spawning, so that we are running dry of voices. Or we can have an object that constantly causes a so-called memory leak, and that causes the audio to run out of memory to use. If you don't know what a memory leak is, then imagine if you have an object that constantly saves some sort of little value to the memory. But if this object starts to spawn uncontrollably, basically you have cancer, memory cancer somehow. And it just continues to spread and continues to fill up the entire memory until you run out of it. Now, I have 128 gigs on this computer, so it's probably not because I'm running out of memory, but it could be allocated memory for the project or something else that simply runs dry, which causes everything else to stutter like this. It's kind of weird. We'll never know why it's actually doing so, but it's definitely stuttering. Thank you for watching Cujo Sound and this video about Shelter 2. If you like this video and the review that we've been making about the game audio, hit the thumbs up, give the video a like, maybe even subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel and you want to know more about game audio, why not go over to patreon.com/Cujo Sound, where you for as little as $1 a month can help me sustain this channel. I would really appreciate it. You can also on the channel find lots of other videos about tutorials, game audio reviews, and so on, talking about everything that's going on in the world of game audio, as well as Game Audio Talks, where we analyze video games just like this. Thank you for watching once again. Hopefully I'll see you in another video. Cheerio.